I just want to introduce Ruth Newesteg and Sergeant Rich Gadro from ProAction Cops and Kids. Ruth is the president of our local, or chair of our local chapter for ProAction Cops and Kids. I know the board is aware of the partnership that we've had with ProAction Cops and Kids. It's been a very fruitful partnership, and we're seeing the results of that with providing tremendous mentoring opportunities for youth in our community. So two of our officers who are in attendance, and I won't steal Sergeant Gadro's thunder here, but they recently received an award in Toronto from ProAction Cops and Kids, and without further ado, I'll have Ruth and Sergeant Rich Gadro come forward and provide some information on that.
Thank you very much, and anybody in Niagara Falls knows it's Ruth-Ann. So, Ruth, yeah, that's okay. Thank you very much. Just push the button if you can, Ruth-Ann, there, and the floor is yours, madam.
Thank you. Thank you very much. As you know, my name is Ruth-Ann, and I have the great honor of chairing ProAction Cops and Kids. Along with my fellow board members, our role with ProAction is to raise funds to support officer-driven led programs. And if it wasn't for, it doesn't matter how much money our board raises, if it wasn't for the hard work, the dedication, the energy, the efforts of our officers who go above and beyond their normal job, we would be raising money for nothing. And I want to take this opportunity to thank all our officers who have that commitment and want to make our community better by reaching out to kids and making a difference in their life. We have quantifiable goals, of course, as a board, but our qualitative goal amongst our board members, we say if we can just save one child's life or turn that one child's life into a better way, then everything we've done is worth it. So we measure it just by the impact of kids. I'd also, as being, we're very privileged, ProAction is just one of 5 chapters in the entire province, and we would like to thank Chief McCullough for supporting and his leadership, and he has directly participated with us, so we thank you very much. And it's been a pleasure working alongside Sergeant Gadro with ProAction. So we've teamed up together, and it's been a wonderful partnership. There we go. And I'd like to turn it over to Sergeant.
Morning, Chair Gale, members of the board, Chief McCullough, and the deputies. It's my pleasure this morning, as the chief mentioned, and Ruth-Ann as well, we have 2 police officers that were recognized by the ProAction board in Toronto last month, as well as a student participant of one of the programs. Unfortunately, the student is here, but I will speak about him a bit later. These 2 officers played significant roles in developing programs that have just been significant to many young people in the region. First, I'd like to call on Constable Sean Sandell. He was recognized for his outstanding leadership and commitment to the Mediba Adventure Camp program. I'm sure you've heard of our Mediba Camp. Every May for the past 5 years, we've taken up to 50 teenagers from every high school across the province to Camp Mediba in Haliburton, which is a leadership development camp. And the students that are chosen for this program are the ones that are marginalized, easily overlooked, and often bullied, and that would really benefit from 3 days of being pushed outside of their comfort zone, getting a chance to develop their own leadership skills and to find their own voice. This program has been really significant in its impact, and Constable Sandell has been the pivotal key to the development of this program the last 3 years, and his tireless efforts have made sure that the program, which you can imagine the logistics between identifying 50 kids from every high school, getting the transportation, going up to Haliburton, everything going off flawlessly has been fantastic. And even this year, even though he couldn't join us because of his broken leg, all of his planning and his tireless efforts prior to us leaving made sure that the trip was a success. So on behalf of ProAction Cops and Kids, I just want to congratulate Sean Sandell. Thanks, Rick. Good job.
Constable Sandell, would you like to say something? Sure. Please.
Wasn't prepared to speak, but Yeah, this is a great honor. I love doing Camp Madiba. I'm hoping to develop some more ProAction Cops and Kids programs. The Madiba thing is, I've already started preparing for 2019, the week after, even though I haven't been, I just got back to work. It's a long process. Without ProAction, we wouldn't be able to do it. They give us, I think I spent about $9,500 in 2.5 days. And that doesn't even include the cost of the kids. The school boards pick up the tab for that. So just the buses and everything like that. And Chief McCullough, everyone's been great. The officers that volunteer are awesome. I had to turn down a number of officers on their days off to come because there's too many. We're going to have, it was going to be a 2-to-1 ratio. So I think that's a testament to all the SROs and the NRP and ProAction development of this program, and it's been great. And you know, we're trying to expand it a little bit, but we kind of found out that 50 is a perfect number because it gets a little hectic. But that's it. Thank you very much.
Please, thank you. Please stay there in case anybody from the board has any comments or questions. Go ahead.
Can you tell us a little bit about the activities that take place at the camp?
Okay, it's high ropes. There's a zip line. It's called a big swing. That's the only thing I've actually done myself. I'm not a big heights person. They pull you up in a harness about the height of the top of a telephone pole and then let you go. And you just swing back and forth. There's team building. There's the hangle ropes. What else? Rock climbing. There's a number of different things. And also on the way up, the team building with the kids starts in the buses. So we stop at Weber's on the way up. We pay for that. And the kids love that. A lot of kids that haven't never, you know, most of us all know what Weber's is. And those kids don't know what that is. And then once we get there, the staff at Camp Madiba is awesome. And they, you know, there's other places around that are a lot closer, but they treat us so well there that we love going back there. And then we have the second night, we have a pizza party too. So we buy pizza for them. We go around the campfire. We encourage, the last 3 years, have really encouraged to be around the campfire. Someone usually plays a guitar. Kids are singing. And I guess this last one, month ago, they had all the kids there, huddled around one fire. And in 2017, last year, it actually snowed that night in May. So,
Sounds like a lot of fun.
oh yeah, it's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I understand there's another officer coming up, but I don't want you going back because we'll want a picture with them all. If you want to grab that chair, please. Are you okay there?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Okay, go ahead, Phil.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have 2 awards. We actually have one for Officer Dennis Andre, if you'd like to come up here. And then for the youth, it's Mustafa Ahmed, which was one of the youth from his program. Constable Dennis Andre actually took a program that had existed for 1 year before. It was the Niagara Life Skills Culinary Program. And Constable Dennis Andre, even though most of the school resource officers just attend high schools, had begun a couple years prior attending and building a relationship with the staff and the students at the Niagara Islamic School, and just showing up and talking and, you know, exposing them to the value of a friendly police officer and the interactions with police officers for young people. He then saw the quality of the program the first year that the Niagara Life Skills Culinary Program operated, and he adopted it himself and then ran it for the Niagara Islamic School. And he's done it for last spring and last fall. Now, as a result of that, in the school, as you can imagine, a lot of these children had very little contact with police. And as a smaller segment of our population, the work he's done to build bridges and to represent the service in a positive light and policing as a profession in a positive light has been phenomenal. And for that reason, Constable Dennis was recognized for his efforts and his leadership with the Niagara Life Skills Culinary Program. Dennis
So
will be.
would he like to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say that Dennis is going to be presenting the student through the School of the Year Award.
The floor is yours, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I want to thank ProAction for continuing their partnership with Niagara Regional Police and their continued support that helps programs to connect the police with the youth in our community. I'm humbled to be even considered for an award in any way, as I feel like I'm the one who's been rewarded throughout this program. As Rich had said, I've been connected with the Niagara Islamic School for the past several years and have enjoyed building the friendships with the staff and the students there. In fact, I was just there a couple weeks ago, and a young girl came up to me and gave me a big hug while I was in uniform. It was pretty touching for me as well when that happened. In talking with Lisa Stevens, the school's director, and having borrowed the idea from Staff Sergeant Weeks, I was able to find a hands-on approach with interacting with the kids at the school there. I said, to be completely honest, it was my love of food, especially my love of eating food, that made this program exciting for me. But while it continued, I personally saw the growth within the school, within several students who were noticed by the school as well. I recognize that cooking it doesn't fall within everyone's comfort zone, as was the case for some of the students who took a little more encouragement to get involved. But I felt that building these relationships, that we have so much to give and so much to learn from each other as well. And again, I'm humbled by this recognition, so thank you.
Thank you. So does anybody on the board have any questions or comments? So I'd like to get a picture. Phil, are you all done with your talk yourself?
There is the awards to present for.
Oh, okay, please,
for
go
Mom.
ahead.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
So one of the students who was identified throughout the program was Mustafa Ahmed. He was going to be coming here today. There's just some time got switched up, but unfortunately he is still on his way, so he'll be taking a picture later. But so just in recognizing what he's done, when we first were involved, I was just coming to the school doing presentations at the school, and I noticed him a little bit pulled back, but and didn't want to get completely engaged. Was maybe a little anxious around me at first. Interacted with him a lot. Told him about the cooking program. He says, "Yeah, okay, I'll come." And he did. And then school ended, and then the program started, and he was not there anymore. Then next week I said, "Hey, I missed you last week. What happened?" He's like, "Oh, okay, well, I'll come today." And then again, didn't come. I says, "Oh, you'll enjoy it. Come on in." And so then the next week he came, and he was hands-on, elbows deep in chicken, and it was just awesome to see. And in the last event, again, much more involved than I ever thought he was ever going to be. So I submitted him forward for a youth award for the ProAction. And we have the school's director, Lisa Stevens, is here, and I'd like to just give it to her on his behalf until he arrives. And I believe Lisa has a few words to say as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Dennis.
Welcome, Lisa, please.
Thank you very much for inviting us here today. It's our pleasure to come and receive this award. Mustafa will be here shortly, I hope, so he can take a picture with Dennis in his best uniform. I cannot say enough good things about this ProAction program and the benefits that it has had for our students and our school as a whole. Dennis, when he comes in, he makes a statement. So it wasn't only the small group of children that he interacted with in terms of the cooking program. He's become a familiar face in the school with our staff and all of our students, and he sometimes gets mobbed when he comes in with our kids. It was just a wonderful, beautiful program to have the children interact with the officers, Dennis and the other officers that came, and just to see those barriers fall away, as they got involved with the cooking process and having the meal after and having real conversations with the officers, it made a huge difference. And on a serious note, I don't know if I've even spoken to Dennis about this, but we have in the Muslim community in the Niagara region, we have quite a large Sudanese and Somali community. And as the principal, I'm also still a teacher there at the school. The kids have conversations with us, and they watch the news, and we have, of course, a current affairs program in our English program. So around the time Dennis introduced this idea to us, some of our African American students were having some apprehension about the policing and issues that were going on in the United States with the African American community. And so they were showing some tension about that, and they had some comments and concerns. And really, on that level, this program has been hugely successful. And sometimes, a grade 7 or 8 can't really understand the different nuances between maybe American policing situations and Canadian. So it was just instrumental in knocking down those misconceptions that maybe were building in their minds. And really, I hope it continues this program. It was just an honor to be involved in it, and I can't thank Dennis enough. Dennis was hands-on every week that we did it. He was there. We went to either Food Basics together or Fresh Go, did the shopping. Every detail was taken care of by Dennis, and really he is very deserving of this award. And I just thank the Niagara Regional Police and the ProAction group for such a wonderful program. Thank you very much.
So please don't sit down yet. Thank you for your comments and that. It's hard to believe an officer that's 6'100" would be mobbed, but I would like to see that if you ever can take a picture of it. We know that in Toronto, they cut back on school officers and that. There is no intentions of this board. We understand the value of education at our schools. It's never come up. Don't ever fear that, unless everything dries up in the world, but regardless on that. Next, with Cops for Kids, and I thank you, Ruth-Ann. I was at a Rotary meeting in Chippewa where you spoke so highly of the chief and the interactions with the chief for Cops for Kids. Chief, I want to let you know that, and we salute you on you do a lot for the community, so we appreciate that on it.